Hi YouTube, it's Darkon633 and today I'm bringing a review of the Tenkai Knights basic figures of Granox and Slyger. Now Granox and Slyger really should have been released way earlier in the line, but at the same time I'm glad that they released them at all because it really is kind of iffy when it comes to villain figures or villains in general when it comes to action figure lines and so on, that a lot of them usually don't get made in a lot of lines like Power Rangers and other things, but it's still cool to actually see them. I mean, I know they made Vilius and some of the other troopers, but prior to this point, they never actually made generals. Now, as I mentioned earlier, it is nice that they took, I guess, now to release them, since a lot of the first wave figures weren't so accurate, and they went ahead and made the accurate ones in both Japan and in these newer waves that America's releasing from Spin Master. So Spin Master did a nice job releasing the figures, and I'm happy that they went ahead and released this as well. Anyways, we'll take a quick look at their boxes. We have both Granox. It's just a simple basic figure box. We also have Slyger as well, so it's pretty nice there. On the back, it shows Slyger, and the fact that it can combine with Granox, Slyger, row, and show in order to create the sickle ship. So let's just take that off to the side. And here also shows the same thing, so obviously it shows Granox. Oh yeah, and it shows a little picture of them in the show as well, so I'm going to quickly show off Slyger as well. Right there. Anyway, so take a quick look at the figures themselves. Now, Granox got the little better design than Slyger for one major reason. Slyger in the show actually has a tail, but as you clearly see, they never designed anything with the tail, so it's just pretty much all he's got is his helmet and the two blades. Now, articulation-wise, both of these have the same articulation. We'll just go over quickly. Their arms are on ball joints, so allows full movement in all ways. Their head can kind of turn, but because of the way the helmet is, it's pretty much stuck to where it is. And their legs are on ball joints, so allows movement as well. So articulation-wise, it's pretty basic, but what can you do with these small, like around 2-inch figures? Now, obviously these guys came with extra pieces to form the sickle ship, but since I don't have all the figures in order to put them together, I decided to just put it off to the side for now. Now, I'm going to show a quick look at the actual weapons directly. We'll take off the sickles on Slyger and the axe and shield on Granox. Take a quick look at the axe itself. As you can see, it's this nice gray plastic. Nothing too spectacular really, but the axe weapon does look pretty nice. And then, as well, the shield as well. So it's got a really nice design in both weapons. And these nice clear black sickles. So it looks really nice. Now, obviously, since these are the basic figures, you can just remove the helmets, and underneath, clearly see just the design of the individual robots, which they're kind of funny underneath there. You can obviously, since these are basic figures, you can transform them. You just transform like any of the older previous Tenkai Knights figures. You just go ahead and transform the parts. This, and you just close it up. And there you have the Lego brick. Well, brick, should I say, not really Lego brick. Then you go ahead and transform them as well. So, as you can see, Granox turned into this kind of shiny with a little bit of of glitter to it gray brick, and he just turned into a black generic brick. So obviously, since they are like basic figures, you could just stack them up if you wished. These guys would turn into these forms after they get defeated by the Tenkai Knights, but now they just kind of just fly out after they get defeated. So now to just quickly transform them back, just move all the parts so you have Granox here. And we're going to quickly transform Slyger back to its Titan mode. Then just put back the parts. Sometimes they have a little hard time balancing. They are really small figures, and the weapons kind of outweigh them at times, so just need to play around with them in order to get them standing. Now, these are really nice little figures. I was not expecting to find them. It seems like a lot of the Tenkai Knights, I think I mentioned this in one of my other older videos, but it seems like a lot of the Tenkai Knights releases, there isn't a definite release or even just product images like they usually do when it comes to releasing, except for the ones at the Toy Fair which have yet to get released, except the Phoenix forms, which I did see at the place that I bought it, but I didn't pick them up. The cool part about the Phoenix, though, is that the heads are actually more accurate, and they actually have the more accurate designs rather than the first releases. Now, as I mentioned, that I actually got these at Target as well. A lot of the figures just randomly appear in the sections without any warning or anything even from Cinemaster or on the official Tenkai Knight site, so that's kind of a disappointing thing, especially since these things are pretty neat, and it'll be cool to actually know when the new stuff come out. And so since these guys took so long to release, I wasn't afraid, like I mentioned at the beginning, that they weren't even going to release them at all. Now, to take a quick look at comparison with, obviously, Vilius and some of the other villain drones we got here. It's pretty cool that you could put these together. If only he could stop falling. Shield's having a problem helping him not bounce there. So it's really cool that you got them together. And if you so wished, you can quickly just bring out the Tenkai Knights and have a little battle, if you wished, with all of them. So, I gotta say, these are very decent figures, and I really like that Spin Master is finally getting attention to the villains. Now, if only they would finally release in the recent villains they're releasing, they went out and released Vanetta and so on, and the Tenkai Titan for these two. And obviously, we're still missing the Tenkai Titan for Dromus, so I don't know what's taking them so long to release them, but either way, these are pretty decent. These figures are only worth about $4 or $5 if you get it at either Target or Toys R Us, so I'm not sure if they appeared at Toys R Us yet, but I knew that the new Tenkai Titans were out, which I already reviewed except for the last one. But yeah, these are pretty nice, and if you happen to find these in your store, I'll say it's a worthwhile pickup. Anyways, please comment, subscribe, check out Tokai News, Hirotaku, Rajio, Nihon, and the channels down below, and I'll see you YouTube. Bye.